Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Welcome to the Future of Work with AI webinar. My name is Ayman Khalifa. I'll be your host today for this webinar and the upcoming webinars during this week as well. In every webinar, we'll be tackling different aspects of Copilot. On this webinar, we'll focus on the new features of Copilot in Copilot Chat. And on the upcoming webinars, we will talk about Copilot from a product point of view, which means we will talk about Copilot in Word, Copilot in PowerPoint, Outlook, Forms, and so on. We have a different series of webinars where we look at Copilot from persona point of view, like what would a typical day of an HR would be using Copilot, finance, IT, and so on. But before we begin, let's just make sure that you all can hear me and can see me and can see my screen. Should have started with this one first, right? All right, thank you, Charles. All right. I like my sessions to be interactive, which means if you have any question at any point of time, please feel free to ask right away. Yeah. Worst case scenario, you will ask me a question I don't know the answer to. Well, it's a chance for me to learn something new. Copilot is going to answer all of our questions. So be generous with your questions and let's engage and interact and maximize the learning out of this session, right? So to test the interaction, please raise your hand if you've tried Microsoft 365 Copilot. Masoud. All right. So do you have the license, Masoud? By the way, you can pick up the mic and speak at any point of time, yes, or type in the chat.
Yes, we have the license, yes.
You're from which entity, Masoud, if you don't mind me asking?
Ahmad Medical Corporation.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. You all have the license. Okay. Let's begin then. Well, before we delve into the details of and the agenda of the training and all that, to be frank with you, I'm just going to start with a little bit of introduction about me to buy some time for those who wants to join to still join. Before we go into the details of our training. Well, as I mentioned, my name is Ayman Khalifa, and unlike other Aymans, I spell my name with I, so my superhero name for the day is AI Man. All right, so feel free to call me Ayman or AI Man. We do not walk away when training ends. We're there for you. So if you have any question, even after the webinar, feel free to reach out. Link me in, and I will be more than happy to help and assist with all of your questions, challenges, anything that I can help with. All right. Now, ladies and gents, what we want to achieve is that every employee should have the right tool to excel and innovate. Yeah. Imagine every employee having a personal assistant that actually knows everything. Yeah. Especially Microsoft Office products and your data. Today, we're not here to imagine. Today, we're going to prove to you that Microsoft 365 Copilot can actually be your solution. You will not need additional tools when it comes to organization context and business data and so on. So without further ado, let's begin with our details of this webinar, which is brought to you by Microsoft and technology. But first, let's define Microsoft Copilot. And what is Copilot? Well, the Copilot capabilities is a collaboration between Microsoft and OpenAI. Yeah, so Copilot is built on top of OpenAI capability, but it's not the same instance of ChatGPT you're using. They've created a separate instance. This separate instance is what Copilot is using. So it's not the public ChatGPT you use. The difference between Copilot and ChatGPT is that, well, anything you share with ChatGPT is being used to train the model. In short, when you share sensitive data or corporate data with ChatGPT, you see ChatGPT learns from your data and then expose this information if anyone asks any question about the information. Let me give you a local example. Well, it's a personal one as well. So I'm looking for new schools for my kids, right? So what I do before anything, I identify the school, I take the name of the school and go look it up in ChatGPT. You know what I got? Like mind-blowing results. Some schools, the educators on the schools, they use ChatGPT for everything. So I was able to see their issues inside the school, what incidents happened to the kids, their internal communication, their communication with the parents. I got insights, I got information I'm not supposed to see. Yeah. Why? Because they're using ChatGPT. Well, with Copilot, it's the same capabilities of ChatGPT. However, your data is protected. You get enterprise level encryption. The Copilot works within your organization context. That's it. Actually, Copilot is individual license, which means my Copilot, the one I use, sees only the files that I can see. So imagine with me, it will not be logical for someone who works as a front desk, for instance, to ask Copilot, what's the department budget? That's above your pay grade. So you're not supposed to see this information. So your Copilot will not see this information. It will not retrieve this information for you. So it's based on your permission level. And on top of that, it's part of your day-to-day applications. So you don't need to go to ChatGPT and write an email and then bring it back to Copilot and then, bring it back to Outlook and then use it. You don't need to draft something in another tool and then bring it to Word and then format it and so on. You can use AI capabilities within your day-to-day Office applications. And the new name for Office applications is Microsoft 365. It accesses all of your Microsoft Graph data, and Microsoft Graph data looks like this. Yeah, all the files you share, the files that's being shared with you, all your inbox, Outlook, tasks, planner, OneNote, everything in Microsoft 365 and everything in OneDrive for Business and SharePoint, because they both are part of Microsoft 365. You can ground Copilot to get results from the web or from your corporate data. You decide where Copilot gets the data from. And basically, it's just another language model. So it's the same capabilities of ChatGPT. All right. Now, let's try it out. Let me show you how to access Copilot. Well, several ways to access Copilot. So if you have the Copilot license, once you go to, if you type office.com or type m365.cloud.microsoft and then sign in with your corporate account, I'm going to paste those links. Any link I share, I'll be pasting it on the chat window. So let me just get the chat window. open so I can share all these links with you. So the first link is office.com. You can go from office.com, or you can go to Microsoft 365. And now you land into Copilot chat by default. It looks like this because I'm using the dark theme. Okay, so I can go to the settings, and then I can change my settings. I believe that's from here. If I want to use the dark theme, or if I want to use a light theme. All right, so this is the new interface of Copilot. If you have the license, you will see all of these. You will see work and web, where you will get to ground Copilot, whether to get answers from the web or to get answers from your work environment. Even you see the examples here are different. If I go to work, now I'm getting my data. You see, this was my morning training. Yeah, help me prepare for this training, which is 22nd and 23rd of June. Summarize any weekly whatever, or list key points from my presentation that I recently used. But these are examples, which means I can click on it and it will immediately perform the prompt here. List key points from, and then it passed this presentation. So that's work. But then if I switch to web, these are general prompts, general inquiries. You want to know how to make a cheesecake? You want to get a cheesecake recipe? You go to web. That's not work related, right? So what does LLM stands for? AI generated, whatever. You want to draft something, you wanted to do a research on the internet, you go to web. But work is what the magic happens, because I can pass information. I can say, summarize, right? And then it suggests some options here. What do you want? Do you want to summarize an email? You want to summarize a meeting? I'll go for summarize this document. And then I have to, despite the typos, of course, it learns, yeah? I mean, it understands. So, and then I get to attach documents or meetings or reference people. How? Either type /, and then it opens this document and it highlighted files automatically because I mentioned document here. So it knows I'm attaching a document. But if I go like summarize a meeting, summarize this meeting, and then /, it immediately highlighted meetings for me. But I can switch. I can go to files, people, emails, meeting, whatever. And if I don't type /, I still can click on this icon, the plus icon. And once I click on plus, I can add content, which brings up the same interface. So from this interface, I will summarize this meeting. And then I will send that to Copilot. And then it got me the summary. Who's the meeting organizer, the schedule of the meeting, the format of the meeting, the purpose of the meeting, all right? Related material and everything I needed about that meeting. That meeting was a live meeting. That's why I did not get many details. But if it was online meeting, it would have got me the agenda, the action items, the mentions, and everything. And I will show you in a bit. Okay, I just want to make sure that our meeting captured this so I can use it. All right, it's capturing it. Brilliant. Now, we've seen that I can access my Outlook. How about accessing, how about summarizing, what am I doing? Summarize, yes. Summarize, okay, you don't like the Z? Okay, summarize, okay. Summarize all my emails, chats, conversations, and tasks, all right? Again with the Z, okay. just to prove to you that Copilot can actually access all of your Microsoft 365 applications in one place. So I got a summary of my emails, yeah, training schedule, client engagement, and so on. Yeah, and I got a prioritized task list, you see? So I was really able to access everywhere. You see, those prompts that you use, what you can do is you can actually save them. Because if you're going to use them a lot, why don't you save them? And to save a prompt, you simply click on this icon here. And this icon will bookmark the prompt and allow you to, sorry, not this icon, actually, my bad, this icon here, all right? This one, the bookmark icon, because this one copies the prompt. So let me click on this icon to save the prompt. And the interface is asking me for a title for the prompt, yeah, and the actual prompt. And then I can click on save to save the prompt. I click on save, my prompt is saved. Now, next day I come and I want to summarize my emails. I don't have to write the prompt from scratch. I can click on see more, and then I will see the prompt gallery icon right at the bottom. Once I click on prompt gallery, this takes me to the prompts provided by Microsoft and my prompts as well. So let's talk. Take a look at Microsoft prompts first. Well, Microsoft prompts can be categorized or filtered by task. Do you want to create something, or you want to ask or analyze, or maybe I want to catch up? So it filters the prompts. Do you want to catch up? These are all prompts for catching up, but I can still filter it by department or industry. And then if I like a prompt, like prepare a brief of today's news from and then finance industry regarding cryptocurrency, I can use that. I can just click on it and use it. Or I can go to my prompts. I look at a prompt that I saved earlier, like the day planning prompt, and click on the prompt and just use it. You see, the benefit of saving prompts is that if you have such long prompt like this one, you don't want to type that every time. That's a prompt I use on daily basis. Early morning, I begin by planning my day using this prompt, because this prompt actually gets me unread emails. It gets me urgent task. It gets me today's task. It gets me today's meetings. And it gets me a suggested daily schedule for me to work on this. So it says, oh, from 7:30 to 11, you're going to do this training. From 11 to 12, you're going to do this one. Yeah. And then that's a meeting. And then this is another training. And then, oh, have a break. All right. And then go for this webinar. And from 6 to 7, you're not done yet. You got to review some emails. So it understands my day is just logical timing for each task. This prompt, you don't want to type it every day, yeah, so you can save it. Or even better, you can schedule the prompt using this button, which is a new feature recently introduced by Microsoft. I'll click on schedule a prompt. Here is the prompt. This is the Copilot chat. Send results in Copilot chat. When do I want the prompt to run? I can run it every day at, let's say, okay, I'm gonna have to type it because now it's 4 p.m. It's not allowing me. Yeah? So let's say tomorrow I'm gonna go for 7 a.m. Yeah, every day. Yeah, run for how many times? I'm gonna run it for 4 times, or let's say 10 times And then maybe I change my mind and configure the prompt in a different way, and then save it. So this prompt now is scheduled every time, every day, in the same exact time. The prompt will run and get me the result. I don't need to come and do all these steps. I just come and read the results. All right. So this is active now. I'm good to go. If I click here, I can run it now. I can turn it off and I can delete it. So this is example for work. So the result that you get, you can copy it, you can share it, you can like it or dislike it, and this is very important. You see, we don't give feedback usually to those AI tools. You have to give feedback. Otherwise, how will you fine-tune it? So you have to share your feedback, whether you like this or not. I'll tell you about the editing pages later. Any questions so far? All good? All right. Now, back to the slides then. That was a quick overview of trying Copilot. Before I go into the details, remember I told you several ways to access Copilot. The web platform is one of them. I can install Microsoft 365 Copilot on my machine as a standalone application. And once you install it, you can access it from your task manager at any point of time, and you get the same interface. So it's up to you whether you want to use the web or you want to use the standalone application. You get the same experience. You switch between web, you get enterprise level data protection and so on. All right. Now let's see the different flavors of Copilot. Well, there is the free version of Copilot, and there is the premium version of Copilot, which is a pro version. That's for individuals. Like if you want Copilot on your personal accounts, on your personal devices, you can get a Copilot Pro license. But the one demoing this is Microsoft 365 Copilot, which gets you Copilot in all of those family members and more. But then we have GitHub Copilot for developers. Those who works in Microsoft Dynamics, we have Dynamics 365 Copilot for them, where you get to have a conversation with your CRM or ERP system. And for the techies, we have techies and business users. We have Power Platform Copilot that will allow you to build applications, using Copilot, automate processes using Copilot, create dashboards and power and reports using Copilot. But the techies actually they use Security Copilot, which means they will have a conversation with the network. They ask Copilot, have we been under attack? And then Copilot responds whether yes or no, and then it proves it, all right, to them. Copilot is for everyone. Whether you're on a strategic level, you're on a tactical level, operational level, Copilot is for everyone. The common factor between all of these is the art of prompt engineering, the art of writing an effective prompt. You see, when my son comes back from school, and then I go like, how's school? That conversation just ended. Because the answer is good. And then he goes away. Right? The conversation is done. But then if I add some context to the conversation, like, oh, like, how was school and what did you do on that exam? Or what's new from that teacher? Just add some context. Don't leave it just like that. How's school? Then you might get a couple of seconds more. Okay. Or you go to a librarian and then you ask him, Can I get a book about drones? Okay, there is a whole section, or about automobile. Okay, that's a whole section called automobile. What do you want in automobile? Do you want to design a car, or you want to know about them? Yeah. So you did not add more details. That's the art of prompt engineering. If you cannot visualize the output that you need, don't expect Copilot to do what you need or to achieve the result that you want. It's not a magical wand. You have to explain in details what you want. So you have to begin with visualizing what you want. I want the content to be formatted in a table. I want the language to be simple. Uh, Visualize it and then write your prompt beginning with goal. What do you want from Copilot? And please add some context. Don't go like, I need to create a PowerPoint presentation about onboarding process. Why? Who's the target audience? Is this presentation for higher level management or employees? You see, the language is different. For how long this presentation is? Are you going to speak for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, or 30 minutes, or 1 hour? The content level is different now. So you need to add some context. And the third thing is grounding Copilot to get data from certain sources. So do you want Copilot to get the data from the net, from the internet, or from your corporate information? If it's from your corporate data, you might as well just attach the document that you want. You see, when you don't identify the source for Copilot to get the data from, you leave it to Copilot now to decide whether to get the data from the internet or from your corporate data. And then Copilot can really get lost between the vast amount of data it has and it learned. So when you define the source on your prompt, you reduce the margin of error. You reduce the hallucinations of Copilot. So if you want to get the data from the internet, you can even go and say, I don't want any website. I want official websites. I want government websites or directed to certain websites. And the last 4 element in a very good prompt is your expectations. How many times you wrote emails in ChatGPT and then you ended up with an article, not an email? And it was obvious that it's not me who wrote the email. Yeah, because the language is not simple and it's not writing in my style. So you have to mention your expectation. How do you want the result to be formatted? Do you want the summary in bullet points or a paragraph? How many points on the paragraph on these bullet points? Do you want the tone to be professional or authoritative or friendly? You have to mention all of this on your prompt. So if you join the meeting late and then you opened up Copilot, usually our prompt ends here. We go like, summarize this meeting. Done. that's the prompt usually. But why aren't you there in the meeting? No, I was a bit late, and I want a quick overview of the key points discussed. Yeah. But then the source is very important, you see, because this meeting could be around an initiative or a project, and the project manager is Muhammad. So I'm interested in knowing whether Muhammad suggested any changes or not. So my final result should be a project timeline in a schedule, in a schedule, and any changes suggested by Muhammad. This is a very good prompt. Anything other than this is not a good prompt, which means you will iterate a lot in order to reach your result or your expected results. So let's try it out. All right, let's try it out. So we're gonna go to my Copilot interface, the one I've been using, and I'm gonna start a new window. This one is web, because what I want is to write a business, to write a blog. Just gonna enlarge this so you can see the prompt. I hope you can read the prompt. I'm gonna ask Copilot to write a blog post on how AI benefits small business. This is the goal. Let me write. Okay. The context is, remember, the context is why do I want this goal? Why? Well, because I'm a tech blogger. I educate small business owners about technology. My audience seeks practical insights into AI applications. Now it's clear why am I writing this blog post. But wait a second, don't get me information from anywhere. I don't want information from Wikipedia, which it might be wrong. So I have to identify the source or define the source. So I'm saying here, use recent data and examples from reputable sources like Gartner and Forbes, focusing on AI impact and real-world success stories. The sources is clear. The sources are clear. Now, last thing is, how am I expecting the output to look like? Because I visualized it, I can draft it. So I will say the post should be concise, clear, and structured with, mention the structure you like, introduction, main content, highlighting all benefits on changes and actionable advice, maintaining an engaging and informative tone. Send that to Copilot. Now you will reduce the iterations of modifications and you will get the result that you want. Unlike any other chatbot, generative AI, it will mention these sources. It gathered the information from, you see, Forbes, I got Gartner, yeah, and some searches. And then it follows up with some questions for you to choose from. Like we call them follow-up prompts. So here it asked me a question. It goes like, what do you like? Would you like a visual infographic or social media snippet to accompany this post? Maybe yes, please. Or maybe can you provide more examples? So you choose what you want. I'm going to go for yes, please. Follow-up prompt, send it. And because it's a social media post, it decided to create an illustration for us. So let it create the image. That was, senores, prompt engineering in a nutshell. The topic is big. I advise that you let AI teach you how to use AI. Okay? There we go. I got the benefits of AI. I got the challenges of AI. Based on the content up here. So anyway, it will. This is the infographics that I can really use. Okay. Now, to know more about prompts and to see examples, I advise that you go to the prompt library, access this website, aka.ms/copilotlab, and there is a whole library of prompts and videos and so on waiting for you. So, as I mentioned earlier, I will focus on this session about the new capabilities of Copilot. Okay. And from the new capabilities that we got is this interface itself, yeah, where chat is separated from search. You see, back in the days in the old interface, it was chat, and then I asked the chat to search and look up information or documents actually for me. But now I can click on search and then search for information here. Here I can go like, okay, future of work, and then send that to Copilot, and then it will get me everything that has not the keyword, not only the keyword future of work, but even the context. So I got files, yeah, plenty of them. I got a couple of pages. I got sites, if I have sites, yeah, people, news, messages, all right, images, videos, some data insights from Power BI. So it's a deep search within your organization context. But if you want to chat, of course, you go to chat. But then if you want to do a research, you go to researcher. Because you see, researcher here, it has two new models. Yeah, the first model is what we call reasoning model, and the second one is deep search model. And these are the OpenAI capabilities. These are the ChatGPT capabilities. So here, um, okay, let me go like analyze. Here, I clicked on this prompt, yeah. For the researcher, build a comprehensive market share analysis for company X using work and web resources. So if I have, I'm being specific, if I have resources on my work environment, it will use it. Otherwise, it will use web resources. Let me take a look at, let's say, Microsoft. And then send that. You see, unlike the chat experience, the researcher will come back to me with questions to better enhance its understanding of my request. Then it will start the research. So it's asking me, are there specific competitors you want to focus on in this analysis? Do you have a preferred time frame for the market share data? Yeah, and some examples. So I can answer these questions or I can just say, go ahead. So for the sake of this demo, I'll just say, go ahead. But it's better if you answer the questions. And don't keep staring at the screen while it's doing the research, because it will take some time. Yeah, it's a deep search and reasoning model. If you expand this window here, it will dump its activities in front of you. It tells you exactly what it's thinking and what activity is doing now. Beginning search, reviewing search result, considering alternative approaches, and so on. And now is searching for meeting info because I said, look within my data. Yeah. Evaluating search result, whether this result is good or not. So you can keep an eye on what it's doing, but you can go do something else and come back because it will highlight here. It will be bold in case there is a new result arrived. So you can do something else and then come back for this result. Do you have any questions so far? Yeah, no questions? Give me a thumb up if no questions. Okay. All right. Just to check that you're still alive. All right. So we will not wait for this. We will move to try something else, which is the analyst. The analyst is another agent um, uh, which will help me do financial analysis and so on. So I can write my own prompt, or I can analyze the data or get insights based on my uploaded data. So I'll try this prompt, which goes like, okay, I want the trends you see on the uploaded files, which variables are correlated and how much, and can you visualize these correlations? I'm just going to upload a document by clicking on upload from this device. I will use a sample document, Copilot demo. This is a sample marketing campaign document that has marketing campaign results, and share that with Copilot. What the analyst will do, unlike the normal chat, the analyst will write Python code on spot to answer your question. So it's very dynamic. It's writing code to use statistical algorithms and analysis algorithms using Python. If it encounters any error, it will restart itself. All right, until I got my result in here. So I got the key trends, got the budget revenue, campaign duration. I got the correlation analysis. Yeah. And I got me a heat map as well that visualize this correlation. So these two are new capabilities, the analyst and the researcher. Of course, the market share analysis is still working. So if you click on it, you'll see it's still working. Once you go back to a researcher or analyst result, it will take some time to appear. Yeah, so it's still considering data sources and so on. So we will come back to it when it's done. So these are the new agents, but these are not the only new agents. You see, remember when I told you, let AI teach you how to use AI? We have a prompt coach. Forget about the recruitment advisor. This agent I created. It's not a default agent. The prompt coach, when I click on prompt coach, this where I get to fix my prompts. So let's say I want to generate an image of a wise why I keep in okay wise okay wise I'll reading a book sitting on a cloud. Okay, that's the prompt that I want. It's just from the top of my head. Yeah. So now it comes back asking me, oh, what's the goal? What's the style preferences, the color palette, the additional elements required? What's the output format that you want? So it's pushing me to share more details using prompt engineering techniques. So I will answer that. The goal is this image for a presentation, a training session, social media, or something else? Nice. Let's say bedtime stories for my kids. Okay. Style preferences. Do you want the image to be realistic, cartoonish, watercolor? There are more than 25 styles that you can use, by the way. I'm gonna go for realistic. All right. I'm gonna go for realistic. The color palette, any specific colors? No specific colors, all right? Additional image. Would you like anything else on the image, like stars, moons, other animals, background? Get creative. Output format. Do you need it to specify a resolution or so on? Well, HD would be good. And I'm just gonna send that. You see, the output of this agent, the prompt coach, is not the actual result. It's a prompt. So here is the final prompt. This is the prompt that you're supposed to write to get the result that you want. Create a high definition, realistic illustration of a wise owl, and see, it fixed the typo that I did. Yeah. Reading a bedtime story while sitting on a fluffy cloud, and so on and so on and so on. Just gonna take this one and go to the chat and ask Copilot to generate this one for me. I would get better result because the prompt is well crafted. And then I can modify it, make it daytime scene, add more animals around the owl, and so on. Okay. So since it said make it a daytime, you've expected that it's going to be at night. So let's take a look at the result. There we go. Yeah. That's your final result. So I've used that image example because you can visualize the content, but you can use the prompt coach for any other prompts related to a research or whatever. So your previous conversations are saved in here, okay? Pages, on the other hand, is for something else. Let me tell you. So if I go to, let's see, my previous conversation. Remember when we got the trends? I'll go to the analyst result. When we asked for trends and we got this result. Now I want to keep this result. So I can either copy it or I can edit it in pages. So the idea is I can if I copy it, I'll have to take it to another application to edit it, modify it, and so on. But I want to edit it here within this interface because I want to carry on analyzing something else. And then I will take the new content and add it to the same page. I will go to edit in pages. So once I click on edit in pages, I can edit in pages, and then it opens up the result in the page, and usually it adds the prompts as well that generated that result for me to remember what I did. So what are the trends? And then here is the result. Okay, that's what it did. And then at the bottom, I will see my result. So this is editable. I can modify, I can add whatever I want in here. I can carry on the conversation with Copilot here and then borrow some areas and add it to the page until I finish what I want. Because that's what we do. But in ChatGPT, we always have to have a notepad at the side or Word at the side, because while I'm iterating and editing with Copilot, I like the first paragraph of the first result generated, but then I like the second paragraph of the third result it generated. So you can get lost between the generated content while you're modifying. A page will allow you to copy what you want, add it here in the same interface. Once you're done, you can share this page. You can download it in a Word document immediately. Or if you just close it, it will be saved in pages. This is your page, which is accessible from what are the trends. You see, this one accessible from pages right here. So if I click on pages, it will get me my recent pages. And I can quickly access a page. Any question? All good? One more thing that you can do within this new interface is the ability to create some sort of a folder with all the related data and all the related or the relevant conversations, like projects in ChatGPT. That's called here notebooks. So you can create a notebook, and then once you create a notebook, click on new, add a notebook name, maybe future of work, okay? And then I get to choose the files that needed to be added to this notebook. Maybe I search for them. So maybe I choose webinar, future of work, or generative AI, for instance, business strategies for generative AI, challenges of generative AI, and I'm just going to add all of these and create my notebook. Now, any chat conversation that I have with this notebook will be saved under chats, and it will get its data from these sources. So I'm being more specific with Copilot. Instead of every time uploading the same data over and over again to the prompt, I can just create a notebook. So let's say okay, is Gen AI going to replace human beings? Human being? But despite the typos, as usually, it gets it. There we go. All right, AI tool empowering, not replacement. From where it got this, it got it from the AI PPT that I have. And here is a reference. Yeah, if I click on it, it takes me to that PPT. AI will shift jobs, not eliminate them. It's coming from this reference here. Challenges of generative AI, and so on. And these are the references, which are the ones I've added in my OneNote. All right, that was OneNote. That was, sorry, notebook. So now we've discussed search, we've discussed chat capabilities. We've seen some agents like analyst, researcher, prompt coach. There are some other agents. If I click on all agents, I will see all the agents created by Microsoft. Okay, so not only Microsoft, if all the agents that you created as well. So except if you have the interface, you will see everything except these two, because I created these two. Okay, but leave that. You got a learning coach, you got a researcher, idea coach. Yeah, so plenty of research, but these are the ones created by Microsoft. Other than the agents, we discussed conversations and pages and notebook. So let's see the create experience. Clicking on the create experience will take us to the create experience where you can create images, You can design posters. You can create videos. You can create forms from here and any of these. I'm going to begin with an image. And let's say I want to choose one of the styles existing in here. Yeah. So if I want this image, I'll choose it. I upload an image. I edit the prompt or write a new one, and then that's it. So describe the image. I'm just gonna upload my image here. This image was generated by Copilot. Yeah, this guy is actually ChatGPT generated. So I'll use that guy. Transform the reference image of the man the style, budget, featuring, and so on and so on. I'm just gonna keep the default. I can move to style and change the style if I want, yeah, or choose a different style. I will choose this one, okay, and then brand color, and here where you can upload your corporate brand to be fixed, so you can the corporate brand palette, so you can use it. Size of the image, just want it this size, and then click on create. And let's see the result together. So it's getting me my image based on the style that I specified. And then I have a lot of editing tools here. So I can click on edit, for instance, and then crop, rotate, do some light adjustments, auto enhance the image, or even remove the background. So I clicked on remove to remove the background, or blur certain areas, or recolor the image, or erase certain objects of the image, cut it out as a sticker, a smart cropping, and a lot can be happen. Of course, this is a bit difficult to remove the background because it's cluttery. Looks like painting and so on. But clear images like this one, where the hero image, we call it, is popped out, it can easily remove that. What else? Any of those enhancements that can be done. I can add quick text on the image. Yeah, I can add other media on the image from images and so on. And so on. I can add visuals, yeah, markup. Yeah, maybe I want to annotate or something. Or I can start building like Photoshop, adding layers, and every layer I add something new until I build my image. Once you're done, you can click on download and download it. So similarly, you can create, you can start from scratch. You can say, oh, I want to describe my image. Get rid of this, edit prompt, delete the prompt, and start from scratch. Choose the image style and so on. And similarly, you can design a poster. Yeah. Start from a template and let Copilot help you designing that poster. Any question? Okay. Yeah, I'm just getting some resources. Hold on a second. So, I want you to tell me if you're able to find this interface and access it or not, because I want to know how I will continue this part of the webinar. I'm sorry for the background of the video, amigos. That was from a a previous training. Yeah, and I was supposed to change it, and I forgot. Thank you, Iman, for reminding me. I wish if you reminded me earlier. Right. So tell me if you have the same interface or you can access the same interface using the links I shared with you. No? All right. Then the content for this webinar is as light as you can see, as what we discussed. I mean, it's only about the new features of Copilot Chat, and from next webinars, we'll delve deeper and dive deeper into Copilot in different applications, as I mentioned, and different personas. So stay tuned. Together in the next series of webinars, we will see how to draft content in Copilot, and write emails, summarize content, do a mind mapping process, and with Copilot and more. Yeah, creating applications, creating workflows, and so on. Before you leave, we have an achievement code for you. It's a digital badge by Microsoft that will assign you a certificate and a digital badge that you can redeem. And I shared the link on the chat window for you to redeem your badge. And we will share with you a feedback form. Please do let us know how we did, and share your valuable feedback with us. I'll be sharing the feedback link on the chat window. Meanwhile, until you redeem your achievement code. All right. All right. We reached the end of our webinars. With please take a look at the chat window. Please do redeem your achievement code, and there is a link for the feedback form. Please fill the feedback form. Let us know how to enhance this session going forward. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me today and allowing me the time to present to you. Hope to see you in future webinars as well. And as I told you, we're there for you. You have any question, reach out and we will be more than happy to help. I hope you enjoyed my flight. Thank you for being here. See you in the near future. Wish you all the best on your endeavors. Have a good one. Goodbye. Salam alaikum.